Welcome to Let's Talk session by Sipping Thoughts. Today we have a very interesting topic. As usual, we try to bring out interesting topics on Let's Talk, topics in which we can ask and learn, as one of our audience mentioned just now. So just like every time we have a very interesting topic about identity, identity issues, coming out as an LGBTQ. That is what we are going to discuss today. And I'll quickly introduce you all to our panelists today. I have a very interesting panel with me today. First of all, I have Mr. Manvendra Singh Gohil. He's the Crown Prince of Rajpipla and erstwhile princely state in Gujarat, and the 39th direct descendant of the 650-year-old Gohil dynasty. He's the first member of the royal family who openly came out as gay to the world. He's the only Indian to be interviewed by Oprah Winfrey 3 times and has been featured on the show Keeping Up with the Kardashians. He's the chairperson and the co-founder of Lakshya Trust, dedicated towards empowerment of the LGBTQ community. Hello, Mr. Manvendra, we welcome you.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Shyam Konnur with us. Shyam Konnur is an openly gay and equal rights activist and social entrepreneur based in Pune. In 2009, he founded MIST, an online collective of LGBTQ individuals across India. Shyam was given an 101 Diversity and Inclusive Leader Award in 2019 and was awarded by National Congress Party in 2021 for sustained achievement in the cause of LGBTQ inclusion. Hi, Shyam, we welcome you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Lastly, I have with me Ms. Meeta Gutgutia. As we all know, she's the co-founder of Ferns and Petals and co-founder of this platform, Sipping Thoughts. She'll be taking this conversation forward with our panelists today. So, Meeta ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, Ashita. And welcome, as we were discussing, welcome, Mr. Prince is easier to say. It looks more personal. And Shyam, I know that you changed your name from Samuel.
Yeah.
So I did my homework pretty well. So thank you for being here. So let me just kind of set the why we have started this conversation. Very recently, I met a very, very dear friend from fashion industry, very established. And when he told me, Meeta, I came out to my family and I could see the excitement on his face. And I was wondering that it was a childlike excitement, as if he has done something great. And that made me think, and believe me, that time I got a little more familiar with the term coming out. I knew roughly, but do you exactly speak how? And so this situation made me kind of think about it. When a person who is so exposed and a person who is so aware, like both the party, me and the friend, we both were kind of little uncomfortable in that situation, not completely fully knowing about it. So I thought, let me bring it forward and let's have a discussion on it, because this is still a big taboo and a very uncomfortable topic. And mostly the challenge is we don't know how to talk about it, how to speak to people on this. So that's why we are here. And on that note, I want to talk to both of you, understand your journey. So if I take to Prince, I know that you were talking about the school and the zebra training for the sexual education class. And then I was laughing. So I thought, let me ask you about your journey. Manvendra, you can take it. Shyam, you can take it.
So should I start?
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, my journey has been extremely different, I would say, and very unusual, because being raised in a royal family, of course, now we don't have powers and privileges, but we, of course, are the custodians of the rich cultural heritage which has been inherited by from our ancestors. And so entire grooming has happened to be the future custodians, and with a lot of, even as I was growing up, there were a lot of protocols, norms, rules and regulations, and very protected, conservative society I was raised up with. And then to kind of, come to know, or rather find out that I'm different than others, and not knowing why I'm different, and had no clue I was gay, but kind of I had attraction towards the same sex, and nobody to communicate, because in our families communication is very, very extremely poor. I mean, with our own parents, we don't have communication even now. So, it was very difficult for me to even share this with anyone. And I was raised by a nanny, and my nanny was not educated enough to understand these issues. And it was much later in my life that I came to know, that I'm gay. And I mean, actually, at the age of 30, I came to terms with my sexuality. Imagine, it took me 30 years of my life to find out. And in that process, I ended up getting married to a woman, having a divorce, and then finally discovering my sexuality. So yeah, and I just want to comment on that zebra thing which you mentioned in your question. Was, I mean, it's a pity that in India, I always say that India is a country of paradox. I mean, we come from the land of Kama Sutra, which is the oldest sex encyclopedia written in the world. And yet in our schools, I mean, and I'm talking about the days when I was doing my education, I studied in one of the best schools of Mumbai called Bombay Scottish School. And in spite of that, our sex education was merely narrowed down just to talk about the secondary sexual characteristics of zebras and lions. And I looked at my other classmates and I was wondering, why are they teaching us that? Are we supposed to grow up and have sex with zebras and lions? I mean, why can't they talk about human beings in a human physiology, lecture? So that's the standard of our education. So I can very well figure out, people would not know about our issues, about the issues of LGBT and homosexuality, when the basic sex education itself is missing in our education institutions. So yeah, so that's been some part of my journey, if I had to explain.
Absolutely. So that was a far-fetched journey, that there's no conversation about sex, and then you're kind of contemplating that, why am I attracted towards the same sex? So yeah, I can understand. So Shyam, what was your journey?
I think it's almost similar. I come from a very small town in northern Karnataka, Sindhanur it's called as, but where I didn't even know things. And I think in school, we skip all this sex education most of the time. Teachers feel shy in villages, even if it is just talking about plants and like reproduction is a subject lesson that we had in 6th or 7th in our class. I think these were always skipped. But I won't only blame that aspect. I think in a village, you also didn't talk about many other things. Even talking about husband and wife having sex was a taboo. Forget homosexual. I think even talking about husband and wife was taboo. They would say very secretly, or they will say someone is conceived, or even for example, women come, the menstrual cycle, if I'm pronouncing it right, talking about those things also is taboo kind of a thing in the place where I come from. So, and that all those didn't give us enough education about knowledge about why do I feel different, or always people spoke about how heterosexual marriages were normal, how people have girlfriend after a certain age. So only those things were spoken. So I always felt something is wrong with me, and I didn't talk about it to anyone. I didn't even talk about it to my friends, nor my family or doctors or anyone. I always kept thinking I am doing something wrong, or I am sinner, or coming from a Christian background, you feel like you're following abomination, you're falling under this certain criteria of evil spirit or things like that. So there were a lot of things that went on in my mind, either thinking it's addiction, or either thinking it's being sinner, or either thinking I'm mentally ill. So everything was something that I took on myself, because I didn't have knowledge about what being homosexual or what falling in love with someone meant. I thought it was only right to fall in love with a woman. If someone is falling in love with a boy, it's wrong. So those things, I think, affected me mental health wise very bad. And till the time it went to a certain extent, which like could blow up once you keep pressurizing yourself, filling all your stress into yourself. I think there is one day when you can't just take it. And that was the day I think I realized that it's okay to be who you are, and instead of stressing yourself and pressurizing. And there was not much spoken even in media, or we didn't have any role model to look up for who we could say, okay, we have a queer person who is there. Or I didn't have any, even in movies, they showed queer to be very flamboyant or made joke of, or like a Joker kind of characters that were shown when they showed, at least when I was in my 15, 16 or 17. So those things took a lot of hit in my life to, what do you say, maybe realize earlier, maybe to come out early and understand that how important it is to accept myself first. Before I talk about the world, it was, for me, was accepting myself with who I am. So I think that journey also taught me so much. What I'm doing today is all because of what I have experienced and what I learned through my own life.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, Mr. Manvendra, I want to ask again from both of you that for parents, for mothers, or the society around us, I have seen three kind of cases. One is that normally one is not clear that am I gay or am I, it's just a passing phase. Or it is something people say I'm still figuring out, or I got, or parents feel like it's not very clear. How do we, in both of your case, what I can see that you both were very clear, but you got married and then you realize that, okay, something is, maybe because your generation was older generation where awareness was not there, but you are comparatively younger, Shyam. So both in your case, was it very, very clear? So that will kind of give us a idea that, okay, how do we understand if my child is gay or understand their sexuality? I'm another friend of mine who got married, had kid. And then finally she realized, I have been suppressing my feelings or emotions. And then she got divorced and had been living with same-sex partners. So, or she came out. She still is not telling her son that she's gay. So I've asked too many questions in the same breath, I know. So the idea is like, that you understand your sexuality, but a lot of confusion around it.
See, our studies have shown that most of us who are either gay or trans or lesbian or queer, we get married to the opposite sex. In most of the cases, I think I would say even more than 80% of us are married. And most of the marriages again happen because of family pressures, parents' pressures, basically. And I must say that, and sorry if the Indian parents listening to me don't get offended what I say, but Indian parents are a bunch of drama, according to me. I have seen so much drama happening with, and especially the mothers. Indian mothers specialize in emotionally blackmailing their children. Because they know that we are mentally conditioned to be attached to them, and therefore they take the advantage. And because I do a lot of counseling, I am a counselor as well, and I get so many cases coming to me where the child comes out to the mother and says that, "Mom, I'm gay. I do not wish get married to a girl. Mom, I'm lesbian. I don't wish to get married to a boy." But the mothers say, "No, nothing doing. You have to get married to a girl or a guy of my choice. Otherwise, I'm going to commit suicide." That's the direct threat they give. And then the poor children, they get succumbed to the marriage pressures because they can't see the mothers committing suicide. Not that they do. I tell them, I said, look, your mothers are just doing drama. They're not going to kill themselves. So if you want, you say no. But then, our Indian kids, how attached we are to the mothers. We can't even live without mother's food. So they kind of, they easily get succumbed to marriage pressures and they get married. And then, the marriages they're not a success. A lot of marriages, they end up in divorce. Look at what happened in my case. It ended up a divorce. My marriage was not even consummated. And it was my wife which prompted me, ex-wife. She said, look, you tried to spoil my life. Please don't do it with another girl. So, but if parents understand the issue right from beginning, then all this drama is not going to happen. Why to spoil somebody's life? When my parents wanted me to remarry again, I asked them a very simple question. I said, you have a daughter. I have a younger sister. I said, you have a daughter. Would you get your daughter married to a guy knowing fully well that he is gay? And they had no answer. I said, when you have no right to spoil your daughter, what right do you have to spoil the life of another daughter? You know, is that simple? You know, I mean, why? How can you get your children married to, you know, doing fully well? And that's where education needs to be done. Parents need to be educated, and I don't say it's their fault. As I was telling you in the beginning, sex education is only missing in our education system. So how will the parents know about my parents are double graduate. They've done MA and BA and, you know, whatnot. They're highly educated. But education is not something which you know, changes their mindset. It is all their preconceived notions about the misconceptions which they have. They always confuse. My mother used to tell me that if you don't want to get married, you renounce the world or join the hijras. You know, I mean, that's what. Imagine a mother's telling me this. I said, why should I join a hijra? I'm not hijra. I'm gay. And why should I renounce the world? I am happy to be living in this materialistic world. So that's what parents need to understand, that, you know, by just understanding their children, that by accepting them, so many lives they can save.
So, Mr. Manvendra, you said about either go and be a hijra. So, being gay and being hijras are very different. Why still in normal society people think it's all, everything mixed together is the same community? It's a tribe.
Yeah, exactly. They always hijra. I mean, when I was growing up itself, my parents, I used to hear from my own parents' mouth, oh, you know what, so and so Maharaja is a hijra. And I used to wonder, how can the Maharaja be a hijra? Because I thought a hijra was somebody who's on the clapping on the traffic signals, you know, and dressed in a sari. And I was unable to understand why they were referring to that Maharaja as hijra, because they knew that Maharaja was gay, but they always used to confuse it with hijra. You know, so that's what is the clarity which needs to be brought. The gay and hijra is entirely different. Even, you know, if you see the LGBTQ acronym, G is different and T is different. You know, you do not mix the two together. So that is some understanding which we need to tell the people, talk to people, and educate them, make them aware, and tell them how we are different, and remove these misconceptions from the minds of the people.
Thank you. So, Shyam, thankfully, you are not in that generation where you have to get married and then finally get separated. Marriage doesn't get consumed. So, thankfully, you are there. What do you have to say on this?
So I don't think we are still there. But yeah, lots of us in our generation, yes, have come out. But I do see still there are people who live in denial or to try to fit in the like the societal norms. So they try to use terms where they don't, for the world, they are straight, but when they come into the community, there are safe spaces where they are queer. So there are people who still live in dual life, kind of live something else outside and live as queer when they come within the queer circles. So, and we can't blame them as well, because maybe their family situations, like Prince Manvendra Singh said, like how drama at home. So I know one of my closest friend who like might be known to everyone within the LGBT community, and suddenly we see his social media that he's going to get married in a week or two, kind of. So there are still people who get pressurized from family or threatened by family that they won't give them the property, or they'll kick them out of their property, or things like that. And I think in India, we still somehow think we belong to certain property. We don't think about earning ourselves. We think we are eligible. One way I think we are eligible, but also we need to be strong for ourselves as members of community, that even if something like this goes on, we need to be strong, that we stand for what we believe in. I think that's what we need to start believing. Like in my case, I would give a warning here. No one follow what I did in my coming out. But because I'd gone through so much of mental health stress and depression, when I came out, I went through a phase where I didn't want to listen to anyone. I knew my mom being mother, she will never give up on her child. So she would always say, I'm happy with, if you're happy, whatever you want to do. You don't want to get married, it's fine, I'm happy. I knew that she always would say that, but not everyone else in my family. So when they saw my, there was some incident happening and I was on the newspapers, and my whole family came running and they said, what is this? You're spoiling my family name. Why are you coming out as gay on paper? And things. So the only statement I gave was, in case you'll accept me, it's good. If you don't accept me, just consider your son is dead. Take this garland, go put it on my photo, and we can not keep in touch. That's what I did. But then I realized, when I was so harsh, parents didn't give up on their child. They said, okay, let's not talk about it. We'll not understand this. Because even my parents, though my mom was a principal and my dad was a government teacher, even they believed being gay meant was being trans, being from the trans community. So when once after a couple of months he commented, so I was just passing by bus and I saw this big group of trans people from your community walking. I'm like, okay, you still think it is trans people walking from the community. So like how I took time, like I took almost 19 years, if I consider from the time I was born till I realized who I am. I think sometimes we also need to give that space, time, and especially now. I know earlier there was not much resources. Right now we have resources, we have people talking about it, there are movies about it. So I think we should give those resources and give time to our parents to let them understand, let them learn. If we take time, I'm sure they also need time. Something new can't just change in their mind. So I think we should give them time to learn and understand as well. That's a suggestion based on my experience that I would give in case someone wants to come out. And about, I saw some questions. I think it's good to answer that on this panel. About coming out for yourself, I think there is sexuality and gender are fluid. You need to let it be. You don't need to give a tick mark and confirm to the world, yes, I am gay, yes, I am bi, yes, I am lesbian. No, you might feel today you're gay, but maybe after some time you realize when you tried fitting in the shoe of gay, you don't feel that you were gay. You think you can be attracted to both. It's okay. You should not be ashamed to feel like, oh, tomorrow I'm saying I'm bi. I think sexuality and gender are very fluid and you need to let yourself explore your sexuality and gender.
So true. Why do you need to announce to anybody that who you are? This is who you are. Even if I am a girl or I'm a woman, why should I go and tell? We don't go and say that, look, I am a woman. True. So why should we go and tell about it? Very true. Yeah. Today we are changing a bit of the format. We are inviting people earlier to ask questions because they normally these kind of open conversation we don't get chance to do. So Harshita, who are we bringing?
We have Pawan Kumar with us. I'll unmute him. Hi, Pawan.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, Pawan.
All right. Well, thank you so much for giving me this platform. I just had this one question for the Prince. I did see his show at Oprah Winfrey, and I just want to know his experience because I think that was a transcendent moment for anyone when he visited, and Oprah invited him for that show, wherein he openly, told about his experiences. So I want to know about his experiences and how it transformed him as a person and what is existence as of now.
Okay, thanks, Pawan, for the question. Oprah's interview was, I would say, a turning point in my life because after she invited me first time in 2007, that itself changed a lot of mindsets. The mere invitation changed a lot of mindsets, especially in the royal families and a lot of other people who are great Oprah fans in India. And she, as we all know, she used this platform to connect my story, my personal story, and educate the entire world. Because this show was the first show was live; it went all across the world. And through my story, she brought about a lot of information which the world, knew about India, but was not the world didn't know the correct information about India. And one of the things which she brought about in the interview was that. To be gay in India was never a crime. It was the homosexual act which was the crime, which many people in the world thought that it was criminal to be gay, and that's something she brought out in the story in my interview. Second thing she brought about that was that most of us are married to women, and again she brought out my personal life and how it was to get married to a woman and how did the woman react to it after marriage and what are the problems which a woman faces after getting married to a guy not knowing his sexuality. So those are the things she brought about in that story, and a lot of people's minds changed across the globe And with that, I started getting a lot of invitations coming from many countries. And I think it was one of the best platforms because I could use that platform for international advocacy, global advocacy I did by meeting so many leaders. I met presidents, prime ministers, parliamentarians, governors, Hollywood, media, so many people I could connect with all over the world and just tell them what are the problems we are facing in India and why we need ourselves to get free. Why do we need freedom? That Oprah gave me that opportunity. So that's why I call her interview the turning point in my life.
So वो कहते हैं ना कि चलो कभी कभी बड़ी celebrity brings some good cause to the country. Had it been the struggle, the journey became shorter to put the message forward. Because I think. Thank you, Pawan. Harshita, whose question next?
Yeah, may I? Okay, yeah. I want to congratulate the panelists and Meeta ji for getting this. First is congratulations to all the panelists, and the flip side, the plus point for you, apart from the behaviors individual, is women will feel safer with you in India, which is becoming the rape foremost dubious distinction of a rape capital in the world. So women will feel safer with you. Secondly, being married is also not an easy phenomena. Okay, but my questions are these behaviors genetic or some situation causes it? And then there are creative professions where there's a preponderance of such kind of behaviors in more creative professions. And just sharing an experience, once I just happened to walk into Kitty Sue at a Lalit hotel, not knowing what it was. And it was such a great bonding space for your community that I don't know, if someone does this as a business idea, I'm sure it will be well received, I feel. Thank you.
So the question is, if I understand it correctly, that why designers or film stars are more inclined to, or we hear all of them or most of them to be gay, or so yeah, you are smiling, Shyam, because you are into fashion and creativity. So yeah.
No, not really. But I think it's a myth that people think that people from the LGBTQ community are only in film or fashion or thing. It's not true. We have doctors, we have lawyers, we have everyone. I'm sure Manvendra Singh will agree with this because their organization also work with a lot of other NGOs and things like that. So we do have people from every profession in the community. And talking about women feeling safer with queer people, it's not necessary. Just because we are gay, we don't get a license to just be hanging out with women as we want or hug them or carry them or things like that. We still need to behave. And please, if any queer people are here, please behave even if you're queer and you're hanging out with a woman. We don't get a special license for it. If it is generally people think they feel safer, yeah, maybe it's depending on how a person has interacted with them or behaved. Everyone, end of the day, are humans. Talking about another thing about you felt there were safe spaces. Yes, many cities have safe spaces, just like you enter, like Kitty Sue. Nowadays, every cities do have safe space where there are queer events happening. There are parties like Kitty Sue happening. There are support groups happening. In case you want to reach out, Google is the best option. You have many websites which have listed out groups and support groups that are run in different cities. Like one of them again is what Prince Manvendra Singh is running, and I forgot the name. I'll let him answer the name. And I run in Pune. Yeah, correct. So thank you. And I run something called Mist in Pune, where we also run support groups as well as parties like Kitty Sue.
Yeah, Mr. Manvendra, you want to add something to it?
Yeah, no, I don't. I agree to what Shyam says, and I think we ought to get this message across that we are part of this mainstream society. So we could be anyone. It's not. Yeah, though it is found that a lot of fashion designers and a lot of creative people are us, but it's not necessary that all creative individuals have to be belonging to the community. So that's just a myth. But yes, definitely I sometimes joke with a lot of people, I said, imagine a world without us. It would be so dull and, we are colorful people, no doubt about it. I mean, look at me. I mean, I'm in all the kinds of colors I'm wearing today. So we are colorful. We like to, enjoy life. We would like others to enjoy life with us, That's what we are. But unfortunately, people, I don't know why people hate us. We love people. We love we love human beings. We love all kinds of human beings. If you ask me, I will love anyone. You tell me. We don't hate anyone, but it's just the people hate us for no rhyme or reason. So we just want love. That's the only thing we want from you guys. We don't want anything special. So so that's the only comment I would like to make.
You said something, such a big issue in such a simple word. Like nobody says that we just want love. It's not easy to say that. And I have seen, I wanted to ask this question. I've seen that gay people are normally very emotional. They're very giving, very loving. Is it a part of their, I don't know, because we don't see men being so emotional. And is that so, or is it something that it's one of the qualities that they have, or it has no relevance?
See, we have always been discriminated right since the time we come to know about ourselves, So that makes us like, the way we are now, because at each and every point of the time, we are always subject to stigma and discrimination for no fault of ours, at home, at school, at workplace, in society in general, wherever you go, like, we face discrimination. And our human rights are violated. Our rights are human rights. Basically, we have to understand that. I mean, for no fault, just because we have an attraction towards the same sex and we want to express it and we want to love somebody we want to love. Just because of that, we are seen differently. We are treated as criminals. Even though there's no law which says we are criminals, but still we are treated as criminals, sinners, or you should go to hell, and demon will come and take you, and Saturn will come and take you, and we are made to feel as if we have done something really wrong. So actually, that's the reason.
Actually, something like this people say.
Yeah. People say that. I mean, people have said that to me as well. That you are a devil. I said, oh my God, if I'm a devil, then why will people give me honors and give me awards? I mean, that people have said that, that you should go, you will go to hell, you will not go to heaven. I said, okay, fine, I'll go to hell, no problem. I will make hell also heaven. So doesn't matter, But that's what people tell about us, So that's the reason we get we develop that emotional behavior, and so. Yeah.
So I remember one thing, like we all normally say casually when we wanted to come to it later about behavior, about how do we have conversation around all communities, all genders. So normally we say, oh, look, he's wearing a dupatta, he's gay. Or look how he's walking, he's gay. So one day my son, I was addressing somebody and said, look, he's gay. He said, Mama, what was the need to mention that he's gay? He is as normal as you and me. You don't say that meet this boy, he's a man. Meet this woman, he's a woman. So actually, we don't realize how do we discriminate, how do we put them in a separate basket and say that you don't belong here. But I never thought that people go to that extent of saying that you go to, yeah, Shyam.
To add to that, so very good point that you had. So he's wearing a dupatta, he's wearing a stole, he's gay. So I had a colleague when I worked in corporates. He was so flamboyant, maybe he dressed very flamboyant, but he was not gay. But I was gay, but I was not flamboyant. And I could see how people made fun secretly telling, oh, he's gay, I'm sure he's gay. His voice is so soft, he speaks like a girl, he's gay. No, not necessarily everyone who you think is fashionable or who is flamboyant or whose voice is soft is gay. They might be heterosexual straight. It's just that they have been grown up like that, or their voice didn't modulate maybe after a certain age. So it's very difficult to judge someone based on their dressing, behavior, or someone that they are gay. They could be straight and we are just judging them that they are gay. And whereas I was right there being gay, I was not out yet at that point in time in my life. And I could see that this person is nicely being discriminated behind his back. And I'm sure he knew that and he didn't know how to react to it. So a lot of times we should realize that not everyone who you think looks different is queer or part of queer community. We are just trying to be, or we just like to be ourselves. People are just trying to be themselves. And also just to broader out of the LGBT topic, giving who has decided this shirt is only for men, who has decided this shirt is only for women. Why are we putting genders on clothes, chair, material? I think things don't have gender. It should be let for anyone to be used, I guess. That's what I believe.
Yeah. Absolutely. Ashita, who next? I know that there we are, the conversation.
Yeah, we have here Vandana with us. She has a very great question. Hi, Vandana.
Hi, Harshita. Hello, Meeta. Hello. It's so nice to hear all of you. I actually had a question, but last, I just want to pick up from the last statement, what Mr. Shyam said, that on this platform itself, we have met Mr. Anurag, Mr. Rajesh, and who have been so proudly dressing them up, and it does not bring down their ethics or the values or the greatness they have. So I remember, saying that Mr. Anurag wears a dupatta. If he said he is wearing a stole, then nobody would have questioned him. But my question is, while we are in school, we are bringing up topics like, we are opening up talking about hygiene. We are talking about safe and unsafe touches. We are talking about so many things. And then we are stopping in the curriculum on one reproductive system chapter. We are not taking it beyond it. We are not talking about sexual orientation. Even the counselors in school are not well equipped. You just stop that subject. You are a tomboy and don't cry like a girl. But what is the behavior issue there? Nobody's taking forward. So I really want to know why this is happening in the school. And second interesting thing I want to ask is, any of you went back to your alma mater to discuss with the school students that you are here now because Mr. Manvendra went to the elite of the elite schools in Bombay? So did you ever address the students there? Did the authorities give you the opportunity to talk to students and understand that they should not look it as a problem, but there has to be a reason and how to go about it?
So basically your school should have we are proud of you.
We are proud, or we should go back to the alma mater and at least address the issues with the students. And because it is one of the best schools, they would definitely invite people and talk about it. Why are we talking about why are we getting celebrities? Why are we calling people talking about the safe touch, unsafe touch? This is also, a burning issue. People should be aware of their sexuality.
What does Manvendra, did you ever go back to your school?
Yeah, my question is that.
Yeah, definitely. Very good question. In fact, I'm in touch with my school and even in touch with the WhatsApp group which I've been part of since many years with the students, my colleagues who have been students, and whenever I have chatted with them or even with some of the teachers, I've communicated with them. They are extremely proud of what I'm doing. So they have kind of accepted me very well, and a lot of my friends who are in school, they are very proud of me. In fact, some of them are even staying out of India now, and they've all invited me. They look forward that when I get a chance, not just them but even their children. The children of my friends, they are also very keen to meet me, and they keep asking their parents that when are you calling your friend over and you would like to meet him and all. So I was invited by school also. I couldn't go. There was a opportunity which I could attend because I was not in India. When the school had invited me to come and talk to the students on LGBT issues. It was around 2 or 3 years back. I don't remember exactly when, but yes, I did receive an invitation from my own school. I, in fact, received an invitation from my college as well. I studied in Meeta College in Mumbai, and even the college had invited me to sensitize and talk about these issues to the students. So I'm very much in touch, and I'm very happy that, like, my school is proud of me. I have been of course, a brilliant student. I've got a lot of awards in school as well. Having scored very good marks. I've always been a first student. So I've made them feel proud for that. But now, after knowing my sexuality, they are again proud of me.
Thank you. Shyam, did you ever go back to your village, or where you?
Yeah. So especially when 377 was brought back in 2013, the news was so rapid and the entire country was protesting. So then the news, reached even villages. That I felt one advantage of that 377 was bringing back was people started speaking about it even in villages. I'm just seeing a positive point in the bad thing that happened. But at that time, my school friends called me and talked to me that what's happening. Your photo is also there. We are hearing that you're a sinner, or like criminal. Sorry, not sinner, criminal, and things like that. So I got an opportunity to explain them what it was at that time. Apart from that, recently during lockdown, I had multiple invites. I spoke to multiple schools through Zoom. I've conducted a few sessions. Some of them were even directly from the students. I don't know if they even approached their school, but even the students together, maybe like 8th or 8th standard students came together and organized event, and they invited us, me and a doctor and multiple people. And it was so beautiful because they organized this event to help another classmate of theirs who was confused with their gender. And to help their classmate, all the students together came up and organized such a event, which was very great for someone at that age, being at 8th standard or 9th standard. It's very young to try to help their own classmate was beautiful. And I was very happy. I couldn't even reject or deny them saying that, okay, I can't talk about it, because I felt they are trying to help someone and we need to support them in doing that. So that was one beautiful experience. And just to answer to, I forgot what was their name, was the question. Why don't we talk about these in school? Is sometimes we have our own unconscious bias by saying that if we talk to kids these things, maybe they'll start exploring their sexuality. That's what we start thinking. But no, that's not true. By not talking about everything, we are blocking the thought flow of our kids, our younger generation, is what I feel. One small incident I'd like to share about kids is in 2013, when 377 was brought back, I was still in Bangalore those days, and we were doing these small freeze mobs around the city to protest and create awareness. So one mom was walking with her kids, 2 small kids, maybe 3 years and 5-year-old. And these kids asked, this is in Kannada, the kid asked her mom, Mom, why are these people frozen like this? And what are they doing? So mom so sweetly explains to her kids that in our country, people are not allowed to love whoever they want to love. But like if someone wants to love a boy wants to love a boy, or a girl wants to love a girl, they're not allowed to do that. So these people are protesting against it, right? Because they need to be allowed to love who they want. That's what the mother explained. I tried to translate the Kannada in English, so it might not sound so beautiful, but it was so beautiful that she didn't use anything like sex or something that could be derogatory. She used nice words like love to explain it to her children. I think if we bring up stories like this, use words that you can explain to younger kids, it will help a lot, and you can remove those biases.
I think, give me one moment, Aishita, but let this person be out of the... Rohit, you have... See, still the people are sick where they can't have this. They will protest in a whatever manner to...
I can see that.
Yeah. Ashita, is he out of the room?
Yeah, he is.
He or she, whatever the person. Yeah. So, yeah. So my question is like something to do with this. We have seen boys, normally girls don't play with cars and guns and everything. But most boys, I've seen many boys when they're playing with makeup or wrapping a sari or playing with kitchen set, the mothers always get stressed. Ye gay to nahi ho jayega. So that is a very, very, and we don't know how to address this. I've seen this around that and the stress on the mother that she, poor woman, she doesn't know that my son is gay, or it is just like it's normal to play with dolls and makeup and everything. You also must be coming across you both similar kind of issues from parents.
Yeah, my story is so interesting. In fact, I was born in a school. I was born in a public school, which is very famous, called the Mayo College in Ajmer, which was started by the British to teach the royal princess. And I mean, because I was born in the school, so obviously I was given admission in the school at 0 years. But my mother decided to remove me from that school and put me in Bombay Scottish, because she said, "Agar mera beta Mayo College mein padhega, to wo gay ho jayega." so she said, no, I will educate him under my nose, and personally supervise, because I don't want my son to be gay. If he studies in Mayo College, he will become gay, because she had this thought that I will be in a hostel and boys together and all, so I will become gay. So I can imagine her irony, when she comes to know that I'm gay, in spite of the fact of not educating me in a school where I was given admission and then putting me in a different school. So that's my story.
Absolutely. So we have next question from Harshita.
Ashwini. I'm unmuting Ashwini.
Yeah.
Hi, Ashwini. You can go ahead with the question.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, wonderful session. Thankful to Sipping Thoughts for organizing this. And very nice to hear from both of the two members here. So my question is, Shyam, you were mentioning that for parents, right? So for them to come to even to accept that, the child has a certain orientation. So, seeing the way we are brought up, I'm a mother. So how can we convince the parents, or what can we tell the parents to accept the child's orientation?
So, see, as per my experience, I feel, I hope your question was over. I'm sorry, I started answering.
I think you completed her question.
Yeah. So as per my experience, I think you can't expect a parent overnight to accept a child when child comes out to parent and say, okay, I'm gay. It's not easy. Because in Indian families, exactly like Prince said, we have already planned without the consent of our child, we have planned their wedding, what they are going to study. They're going to be a doctor, engineer, or everything is pre-planned without knowing what your child is interested in. So as a parent, it is going to be very difficult suddenly when your child comes. It's not only about being gay. Even if they come and say, I'm not going to be a doctor, I want to be a photographer. Parent has already crashed. All their dreams are already crashed, and they're going to have a big drama and say, no, you have to go study engineering. And I've seen a lot of parents doing that. I've seen a lot of my friends who are not interested in being software engineers are still now working as software engineers. So it's not only about sexuality here. It's like about everything that a child has to do is already planned by parents in our country. And we need to change that first. We need to let our parents realize that we need to allow our kids to decide what they want to do. So about coming out as queer, I think we need to give parents time, because of course it's shocking for them. So we need, if someone reaches out to you and they're talking to you, first of all, give them, if you start answering and saying it's okay, they will think you are not the right person to reach out. So first of all, we need to be a good listener. We just need to listen to whatever they want to share, vent out that their child is queer. And then maybe slowly you can just say, why don't you meet a counselor who is LGBT friendly counselor? They'll know how to give time, how to ask parents, what resources that parent can read. And it depends from different part of India. And everyone has now, many organizations have created resources in whichever language we need. There are books in Marathi, there are books in Hindi, there are books in South Indian languages as well. So we can offer those to parents to read, understand, and give them time, because it's not something that they can do overnight. They can't just accept overnight or change their thought overnight.
Absolutely. Yeah. Mr. Manvendra, since you are running an initiative on this, would we like to add something to it? Because
we do a lot of parent counseling as well, and I think Shyam is familiar with this organization Swika. Recently, they gave an award from MIST to somebody who proud mother, Aruna Desai, and I mean I was invited to give the award to her. So Aruna has been very helpful to us. Not just Aruna, there are several other mothers who are part of this Rainbow Parents Association. There's an organization called Swikar, which has been started by parents who have accepted their children as gay, trans, queer, bi, whatever, you know. And these parents are doing an excellent job of being an allies to us. And because I always believe if a mother speaks to another mother or a father speaks to another father, then it has a greater impact than anyone else, because she's already undergone that. You know, in fact, now a lot of parents come to me and they tell me that our child has come out to us. How do we handle that situation? So then I connect them with Swikar, and then I make them mothers. And in this last pandemic till now, almost 200 parents have been counseled, and all the 200 parents have now accepted their children, you know, thanks to this organization.
That's nice. And Shyam, you talked a lot about allies in your this thing. So that is what I want to that is the last question, that how do you start having communication and supporting, as Mr. Manvendra also, you also said that we need love. So we don't realize, but how are we hurting and not accepting or not behaving in the right manner? So what do you both have to add? And after that, we have to close the session because 1 hour is going by and we never realized.
Okay, I'll go first. I think you're already showing love. That love is when you give us space. It's about talking with a smile, maybe not having biases in the words that you all use while talking. In general, I know there are some question about corporate ally, but I will talk in general about being an ally. In general, being an ally is standing up for your friend who you truly believe is not doing anything wrong. So standing up and correcting people if they have a wrong idea or wrong, for example, a misconception that a lot of people have is gay men want to sleep with every other man that they see, which is not true. It's just gay man has a feeling. He wants to fall in love with someone, not just sleep with every man he wants to see. So when people talk something like this, if you're sitting in a coffee shop and you hear someone else talking like this, a true ally will stand up and correct them and say, no, that is not what a gay man do. You don't need to always be gay to go and stand and talk about your rights. You can be an ally who is supporting and correcting people if they think wrong, if they're having a wrong idea. And similarly, also making your people around you feel comfortable. Especially if I'm talking in terms of corporate, when we go to work, most of us spend almost 8 to 9 hours a day at work. So that's our life now. And when we are going there and someone asks you, oh, are you bringing your girlfriend tomorrow for a corporate event, or are you bringing your wife? And if the person is not straight, it hurts the person. And now the person won't even be able to tell, no, I'm gay. It's not so easy to just come out and tell. So we need to use terms like terms which would be like, are you going to get your partner along? So it could be girl or boy. We should not assume someone's partner is going to be the opposite gender. We need to be very open about being okay, whoever the person is, who we are going to talk to. Like, those are few things we need to keep in mind, which will help. And slowly we'll learn more things. I mean, I do a complete session of 1 hour for how to be a good ally. So, but these are 2 points I think would help in slowly changing the world around us. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you have to add to it? What is your experience in?
Yeah, for me, an ally is a very important person. I have always believed in creating allies at all stakeholders. You know, whether you are from a political party or a government officer, religious leader, or a parent or educational institution, media. We need allies everywhere, because for me, an ally is a person who will help us mainstream our issues in the society. And allies could do wonderful jobs, because many times we as the community cannot do that much of awareness as an ally can do. You know, because they'll say, "Arey, wo to gay hai, wo to apne bare mein hi bolega na." I mean, we'll say about we will not say anything bad about us. But when a person who's not from a community says something good or supports us, openly supports us, then people listen to them. And if the person is of an influential, has an influential value in them, then definitely people listen. You know, why do you think people in India have changed because of so many people? Like, for example, I was on this Kardashian show. I remember after I came back, doing that show, so many people who were extremely homophobic to me, they came up and told me that, can we have a selfie with you? And I was surprised. I said, selfie with me? And I was very sarcastic. I said, but am I not a criminal? I told them, you know, and they said, no, where did we say you are a criminal? Gays are also human beings. So, you know, suddenly from a criminal, I became a human being. And people want selfie with me just because Kim Kardashian went and said that it is normal and natural to be gay. So, you know, she is such an important ally for us. So, yeah, allies are wonderful people.
I know. I want to add something to it. We normally see people very curious about, okay, what kind of a partners do you have? I heard somewhere hen partner, and so people rather than the moment they say they see a gay person or they have this curiosity, they want to stay close to you to ask questions, not to be your friend, not to be a social connection, not to just to. So I feel right education is very, very important, that people understand it's as normal as being a man or being a woman. In my head, I think that's very important. So we are coming to close the show. Anybody wants to add anything, ask anything? Otherwise, we will just kind of take the last word from Shyam and Manvendra and close it. Yeah, Mr. Jain, you want to add something?
So just like anything which is forbidden, it takes a long time for it to become commonplace. Whether it was voting rights for women or whether were family feuds or divorces, they were all taboo some time ago. So like LGBT, and I like your abbreviation I went, it's like LGBTQ plus. Everyone should read what that stands for. So it'll take some more time, and you are the torch bearers to become commonplace. And congratulations for being the torch bearers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So last words from you. We always close with the show with the last words from Shyam and Manvendra.
Should I begin?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so my last words are very simple. This is for all and everyone listening to us just now. Please love yourself. If you love yourself, you will be able to love a lot of other people, and there will be less of hatred, less of phobia, and there will be love all over the place, and this world will become a very happy and enjoyable place to live in.
Thank you. So beautifully you said. Thank you, Mr. Manvendra. Yeah, Shyam.
So I'd like to say, not just keeping LGBT in mind, who they are, and you be who you are. Only if you stop judging, people will stop judging you, is what I think. And all the best to you. I just want to say great effort. Meeta, I can see your face after those comments. It has little gone down. Don't worry, we did not feel bad. We are fine with it. So, and I'll be happy to come and do sessions again, I'm sure.
In fact, it's good that this showed that people know that what kind of maybe it's in disguise, that blessing in disguise, that people realize what kind of dirt you face, what kind of yeah, I know. Well, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
so.
But cheer up. That's okay. That's okay. It happens to us all the time, so it's fine.
Meeta, what I do is, the more the people hate me, the more I love them. So, so that's my way of and I have witnessed a lot of homophobic people have changed, and they've changed, and now they're extremely proud of what I'm doing and extremely proud of what others are doing. So it's just about love, as I was saying. Like, the more you love yourself and you love others, you will find that hatred reduces.
Absolutely. So they should go and read Shastras. Even Shastras had gay people and all these issues what we are shying away. It was very open. Every issue was addressed there. So why are we trying to not accept what is true and natural? So on that note, I must thank you. I thank you. Now I want to call you Prince because I was. So thank you, Prince. Thank you, Shyam, and thank you our audience who believe in it. So that shows that we want to believe in it. We want to bring the change, and the change happens. So when Shyam asked me, Meeta, I was wondering why am I invited to a women platform, and I told him that if one life is changed, one thought is changed, my purpose is done. So that's on that note. I want to thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.